All right, guys, we are back for probably one of the last parts of UBW. It's crazy. I didn't really talk about it much in the last one, but I might talk about it more at the end of like my thoughts on like the whole Shiro and Archer thing. But it just went by a lot faster than I was expecting. Like I thought that 30-minute episode was going to be like an hour long episode. So yeah. With that being said, yeah, we're almost towards the end, so let's just jump into it. Shiro, are you all right? Wait, Archer, what's with that wound? She follows her sudden arrival with a torrent of questions. It seems Lancer saved Tosaka as he promised, but Tosaka's energy takes the power out of me. Does she want to check on my safety, or is she angry about Archer's wound? Man, I really am soft-hearted. If she'd been more cruel, I wouldn't have returned to my old self. He talks sarcastically, but his voice only contains warmth. After looking at Tosaka once, the knight in red steps back as if to exit the stage. Well, the match is settled. A hero called Emiya cannot stay here now that he has approved of you. The loser should leave right away. Without saying goodbye to Tosaka, huh? His wound is deep, and he has no master. He will disappear here, and he will return to the original place as a heroic spirit. Oh, what? What? It happens in an instant. It is a fatal attack that takes the opening in me, as I relax after seeing Tosaka. Several swords are called forth. The rain of swords come down to pierce Emiya Shiro's body, and I fall. I'm pushed back and I fall on my butt. I'm pushed back about a meter. In front of me, my broken limbs cannot support my body, and I do not have the power to get back up. Oh, okay. And so, I can only look up at myself that got skewered in front of me. Who is it? Saber's scream cuts open the silence. She is looking at the second floor, on top of the crumbled stairs. I have enjoyed it, indeed. It was a pitiful battle, one befitting a pair of fakes. Archer! 10 years, huh, Saber? I was going to see you earlier, but my plans have changed. Unexpected things kept on happening, and things are going against my will. Servant Gilgamesh, the one to defeat Berserker, and the one who killed Iliasville. He turns aside Saber's glare and looks down at me and the skewered Archer. Well, do you understand now? That is the strength of the real thing. No matter how well you imitate its shape and its power, it is still only an imitation. It does not even approach the radiance of the real one. He raises his hand. It's as if he is ordering his soldiers. I cannot even stand to look at a counterfeit that a faker has created. You piece of trash. You have nothing real within you. An imitation made by copying people should be turned into junk. He shoots numerous noble phantasms. The unavoidable rain pours down. There are about 30 of them. I couldn't dodge or block them even if I was in perfect condition. Clouds of dust spring up. The shower of swords tears apart the already ruined hall. But even in the midst of the chaos, I see it. The red cloak flies. Still skewered, he runs to me and pushes me once again. I'm pushed away from the red figure. His eyes are telling me, you defeat him. That's as long as I defeated Archer, and as long as I want to be a superhero, I must defeat him. The clouds of dust fill my vision. The red cloak sinks inside the rubble. But I see it before he disappears. His eyes are filled with confidence. That servant is no match for us, Emiya Shiro. Neither Saber nor Tosaka will be the one to defeat him. My own self is telling me that Emiya Shiro is the natural enemy of that servant. My vision clears up. Dust is in the air and the rubble is piled up high. There's nothing else. The knight in red disappeared underneath the rubble. Oh, I'm surprised, Archer. You had enough to spare to save someone else in that situation. His sarcastic words contain some scorn. The man smiles in satisfaction as he looks down at the hall filled with Archer's blood. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the most powerful being here. Anyone that moves will follow Archer's fate. Even Saber is silent, wondering how best to attack the enemy. But whose permission did you get to attack my Archer? With Archer's death, Tosaka has lost her composure. Light runs across space. Pure destructive force, magical energy released from the jewel without any processing. He does not even dodge it. He isn't even scratched. I was going to kill that dying kid first, but it seems that order has changed, woman. He orders the swords behind him to carry out Tosaka's execution. The sword is released at high velocity. Saber runs with surpassing speed and protects her master. Saber! Please, step back, Rin. He is dangerous. He will kill you if you attack him recklessly. Oh, so you are her master now. Fine, then I shall overlook your rudeness. I'll lose one of my pleasures if Saber disappears. Saber glares at the enemy while readying her invisible sword. Why are you here, Archer? You were summoned in the previous Holy Grail War, so why are you here again in this war? That is wrong. I merely stayed in this world after the previous war. What? Ridiculous. Servants should lose connection with this world once the Holy Grail disappears. There's no way you can stay in this world for 10 years. That is not true. The connection with this world is not the Holy Grail, but the Master. The Holy Grail merely opened up the passage. I can stay in this world as long as a Magus provides me with magical energy. But then, there aren't as many Masters that can maintain a servant without help from the Holy Grail. In that regard, my Master did not have enough magical energy. Then it should not have been possible for you to stay in this world. If your Master cannot support a familiar like you should be dried up along with your Master. That depends on how one does it. Magi make up lack of a magic circuit with knowledge. In that regard, my Master was exceptional. Was? Then his Master is gone now? No, his Master is Shinji. The fact that he, the man who would not obey anyone, obeyed Shinji is proof of that. Then your Master did the same thing as Rider's Master. Yes, it is only natural to take away from others if you cannot supply it yourself. But to be honest, I did not need to do such a thing. I am the only servant that the Holy Grail poured on. I have already completed the incarnation 10 years ago. Saber stares at the man in astonishment. Saber hangs her head at the words 10 years ago. Yes, all thanks to you, Saber. I know what that thing is. I was covered in its intestines, and I saw that what existed in it. Then you... Yes, I understood the true identity of the Holy Grail. I decided at that time I will be the only one who will handle it. Saber. No, looking down at all of us, he declares something that is unbefitting for a servant. You will use the Holy Grail? That's right. There's no need for me to share it with a parasite like my Master. I'll use the Holy Grail for my objective. The biggest obstacle, the Summoner, was eliminated. All that's left are pathetic Magi that would be completely unsuited to being the vessel. Such failures are suited for my wish. But then, your flesh might make a perfect Holy Grail. The man looks at Tosaka. Oh. Tosaka must feel the danger as she grows pale and steps back. His red eyes are ominous. One would feel uncomfortable under the weight of that gaze. His eyes are so aberrant that even Tosaka is frightened of them. Ridiculous. The Holy Grail is what the Master obtains. We servants cooperate with our masters because we cannot obtain it ourselves. That is strange. The servants are the only ones who can touch the Holy Grail, but the masters are the only ones who can obtain it. But... It's all ridiculous nonsense. The fight for the Holy Grail by 7 masters, a ritual where the last master obtains the Holy Grail, that is only an excuse made for outsiders. The summoning of the Holy Grail is already completed. They always call for the 7 servants after the Holy Grail is repaired. Do you understand, King of Knights? They do not want the Holy Grail, but what goes in it. Masters are just circuits to summon us. Magi made the Holy Grail, but they cannot prepare its contents. I told you earlier, right? They are the ones that take from others if they cannot supply it themselves. The purest magical energy to fill the Holy Grail. The greatest souls of humanity, the guardians are what they sought. The 7 servants are sacrifices they prepared. What? Saber looks up at the man in astonishment. His eyes are desperately trying. Her eyes are trying to desperately deny his words. That it isn't even possible. That it isn't possible. She's trying to deny it, saying that what she wished for, the Holy Grail, cannot be such a thing. You should not be surprised. The Holy Grail is a filtration device that turns the soul into pure magical energy. Yes, it should let you grant any wish. It contains more magical energy than a Magus could ever use within its lifetime. That is why it is better for more sacrifices. It should be omnipotent with 6 servants as sacrifices. 5 servants had filled the Holy Grail. 1 more is needed for the omnipotent Grail they sought. Then only the Masters can handle the Holy Grail. If it is a repository of pure magical energy, only Magi can use it. Doesn't that also mean casters could use it? Yes, if the Master is an excellent Magus, it will grant him any wish. You idiot. Such miracles are not given— oh, someone else said that. Such miracles are not given to mere humans. Humans only destroy themselves, no matter how much power they are given. But do not worry, Saber. This Holy Grail is real. If you insert 7 servants in it, it will reach the origin. Origin? Hold on. Then the Holy Grail— could the Holy Grail be— I do not know who it was, but the one who made it was this rule is a genius. But it does not concern me. I have no interest in such a thing. All I am interested in is the Holy Grail's ability to serve as the gate. What? The Holy Grail is a gate? It happened 10 years ago. You opposed me right when I was about to obtain the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail was cut by the Holy Sword, and what poured out burned the town. As I was right underneath the Holy Grail, I was showered with it. I understood the true identity of the Holy Grail at that time. It is worthless. It is worthless, but it does have its uses. Not many weapons are specialized in murder as that. The Holy Grail is fine as is. There is no need to turn it into an omnipotent vessel. Weapon? Are you saying that a weapon is created out of the servants? We are weapons to begin with. That thing has only perfected that. The Holy Grail is a gate to hell. 5.6 billion curses will flow out from it once it is opened. Kotomine did not tell you about it? The Holy Grail is named Angra Mainyu. Angra Mainyu. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. Or all evils of the world. It is mud that will consume every human being like the name states. Angra Mainyu. I think that's the name of the devil in Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism. The leader of the evil that opposes God for many thousands of years. It is an embodiment of the evil in all humans, and it is depicted as a reflected image of all humanity's goodwill. But why is a Holy Grail named after the ancient Persian devil? Then your intention is to— yes, to sweep the humans away. I have no intention of admiring humanity like Kotomine. I only admire beautiful things. This world is enjoyable, but it is incorrigible at the same time. It is an insult to the king for so many wretches to be enjoying life. I do not want to rule over such a world. Are you stupid? What insult to the king? It's meaningless to be the king if all the humans are eliminated. I do not care if they die out. There is no point to their lives if they will end them through their own crimes. I do not want lowlifes. The only ones worth ruling over are those that can survive even the flames of hell. In that respect, they were utter failures. 10 years ago. If such a pitiful blaze will wipe them out, humans truly have become weak. He grins. For the first time, he looks at me, who he said is a failure. I do not know what this all evils of the world is, but it is convenient. It is a reaper that strikes down all humans equally. An endless darkness that is born from humans and kills them. It is an appropriate hound to entrust with the work I should be doing. Gilgamesh raises his hand. Behind him are noble phantasms waiting for the king's orders. Then, let us continue the battle from 10 years ago. A boring lowlife got involved last time, but there will be no such interruptions this time. But then, it seems the worst faker is here. The swords are all pointed at me. I will my broken legs to stand, but they do not move. Damn, I can't even manage to block one of those. So why did Archer leave behind that message? The swords disappear. The golden servant suddenly lowers his arm. After looking up at the ceiling in discomfort, he brushes away the dust on his shoulder. The ashes will dirty me. You escaped death this time, child. Huh? The castle is burning. I don't know who set the fire, but it must be huge. The 3rd floor is burning down and the 2nd floor is caught as well. No, that's not the surprising thing. He really stopped the battle just because he was going to get dirty from the ashes. Are you running away, Archer? I am only changing the location. I have the Holy Grail. It is my policy to finish matters quickly. I shall quickly construct the Holy Grail and open up the gate to hell. His golden hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks to the terrace that isn't even yet burning. You should hurry up if you want to recover it. The Holy Grail this time is a hurriedly constructed defect. All of the contents will spill out if you do not hurry. His stifled laughter echoes through the room, and he leaves the burning castle like that. Sparks are dancing through the room and the ceiling is tinted red. The gorgeous castle shows no traces of what it used to be. The castle without a master crumbles without trace, as if to follow the girl in white. And I think there is a perfect place to end. Oh, we're cutting to Shinji. That's funny. He was stabbed. Lamau. All right, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.